And so for my lands, I run 43, which is quite a bit, which I'm going to explain why in a second here. I run a lot of utility, just lands that tap for colorless, so obviously you don't want to run out of too many colored sources, so that's another reason for running a lot of lands. Great mana ramp, very useful. It's pretty easy to get up to 5 lands in EDH, so Academy Ruins, absolutely amazing, obviously, with it's basically a win condition with Mindslaver. Core Haven is really good for, decks that attack with maybe just one big creature like a Kresh or a Zur or what have you. Reliquary Tower, also extremely useful. With all the Howling Mine effects, I'd recommend that pretty much any deck would play a Reliquary Tower. Buried Ruin, I saw this in the M12 spoilers and automatically thought EDH. Obviously it's not as good as Academy Ruins, but now any deck can play an Academy Ruins-like effect, and it puts it into your hand instead of on top of your library, so that's pretty good. And it's just great for getting something like if they blow up your Mind's Eye or Croson Grip, your Sensei's Divining Top, you wouldn't be able to respond in a split second. Then you can get it back with Buried Ruin, so that's pretty good. And then another reason why I run so many lands is because of effects like Ghost Quarter, Dust Bowl, Wasteland, Tectonic Edge, and Strip Mine. These are all, obviously destroy a land type effects, and especially in conjunction with like Sun Titan plus Strip Mine, it gets pretty silly. Or any of these really, but obviously Strip Mine's the best. But I used to run 38 lands and had like Strip Mine, and I found that I would never want to use my Strip Mine because I was so afraid of not being able to play more lands a turn. So I've also got Recursion, and there was just no reason not to run every single one of these because they've just proven their worth so many times. Lands that destroy other lands and having a high land count, it gives you a real advantage over your opponent. And then I run pretty much every single land that taps for blue or white in the game. There's only 3 that I don't run, and they all pretty much have the same drawback, which is to not untap during your next untap step if you use that, which is just pretty awful. There's one from Kamigawa, uncommon from Tempest, and then there was an uncommon from Ice Age, and all of them had that drawback. But besides that, I've run pretty much every single one. Sejiri Refuge, just your basic, comes into play tapped. Since the deck is slower, the comes into play tapped lands don't hurt you too much. Azorius Chancery can be awesome if you have like a 2 or 3 land hand and just really low on lands, and you have that Azorius Chancery, which makes up for it, of course. Also, then if somebody strip mines your Azorius Chancery, it sets you back quite a bit, so that can also suck. But Command Tower, obviously, now that's going to be a staple in every EDH deck. Tundra, classic, no drawback on it, pretty much. So, Mystic Gate, really great for spells like Magus of the Future that have triple blue or something in them to get you that double blue. Boreal Shelf, I don't run Scrying Sheets or anything. I probably should, but so the snow land doesn't really matter to me. But Glacial Fortress, I only have 12 basic lands, so there's a good chance it's coming into play tapped, but it's not that bad. Seachrome Coast, obviously most of the time this is also going to come into play tapped, but with this deck you're slower, so the comes into play tapped lands don't hurt you that much, and most importantly, you don't want to get mana screwed. So having a lot of lands that tap for both, I found was extremely important. Hallowed Fountain, that one's pretty beat up. Darkar Wastes, Pingland, Storage Land, that can be really useful. Sometimes, not always, but some games, and it was enough games that I found that I really liked to have Storage Lands in my deck. Skycloud Expanse, honestly one of my least favorite lands that tap for both, but still useful. Wanderwine Hub, I don't run any Merfolk, so it's kind of a joke that I run this, but I still think it's, worth it. I mean, it's just another coastal tower. Nimbus Maze, absolutely love the art on Nimbus Maze, and it can be pretty good in the right situation. Celestial Colonnade, I find that having the 4/4 body has actually won me games. I've swung in with like this and maybe a 5/5 flyer and used that to win the games quite a few times. So, and of course Coastal Tower. Then I run Vivid Creek and Vivid Meadow, and I find that these can be quite good. even with the depletion counters, because usually by the time you need to use them, you won't have any problems. You'll get a blue source or a white source or the opposite color of whatever this is. So, you know, I don't have a problem with that. Ancient Den and See the Synod. Good with Trinket Mage if you're like screwed for one color. Mistveil Plains has kind of a limited usefulness, but not to be underestimated. Manamu, absolutely incredible with Arcanist the Omnipotent. Chelaria West gets any of my utility lands that I may need, and then 6 of each basic land type. So that's my EDH deck, and I hope that helps.